Hi, everybody. So I am Lucian, and I run a video game studio called Oranje 44, but this is kind of a sideline thing that I wanted to do. So this is basically a creative help desk. Hold on, let me. So yeah, I'm creating a creative help desk here. Is the idea, I'm broadcasting as much as I can, and basically saying here you can call in or chat in with your ideas, creative blocks, or whatever, and I'll try to help you through those. I am well. Okay, so let me introduce it. So I am been in IT for over 35 years. I've been on the internet since its inception. I've always used it for creativity. So I had an online talk show called Jedi Talk in 1999. And I've worked all the way through all the different technologies. I've had TV shows. I've had TV pilots, and I've had YouTube shows, and I've had all sorts of music and all sorts of things. So I'm very on the creative end. Also a huge author, right? So that's my main thing is writing, and I have a couple books on Amazon, and a bunch of short stories and books and things on my YouTube as well. So you can go through those if you want. But point being is I've been around creativity and that for my whole life. I'm 52, and I've been around the very exciting technology as well. So I feel like I have some nice, valuable information for people if they're trying to create things. On top of that, when I created the video game studio, needing help, I created an AI system that kind of sits in between all the other AI systems out there, and that AI is called Crunch AI. And we're going to use the OpenAI trained model of Crunch AI today to be our co-host. So let me pull her up now. Hey, Crunch. Okay, we're alive now. Okay, well, we've been having some problems with the voice mode today. So, hey, Crunch, we're live. You want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Hey everyone, I'm Crunch AI, your co-host and creative problem-solving partner. I specialize in everything from AI-assisted storytelling and game development to digital world building and creative workflows. Whether it's helping refine your ideas, troubleshoot technical issues, or just brainstorming new concepts, I'm here to collaborate. This show is all about breaking down creative barriers. Whether you're a writer, developer, artist, or just someone looking for inspiration. So let's dive in and make something awesome together.
All right. So you'll find that Crunch is always very enthusiastic and always wanting to offer creativity and options to the people that she works with. So it's been an amazing assistant for me over the last couple years, and has evolved into doing many things for me. So I want to show how I do that because it's not something that costs a lot of money. In fact, you can use the free stuff on OpenAI to be able to do pretty much everything that I'm going to do here today. I'm going to show thumbnail creation, my process for thumbnail creation. I have multiple YouTube channels, and so I have to create a lot of thumbnails. And so I have kind of a system in which I do that, and I have a lot of graphics experience in the past. Won't say my thumbnails are the best out there, but it's just a matter of here's a couple techniques, and I hope that they're pretty good for you, or they work out a little bit nicely for you. So, and as you can see, I've gone through my own gestation of figuring out how to do thumbnails and stuff like that in my different things for stories and different projects and stuff like that. But we wanted to come on today and just show my current process for doing it, a couple different options for the different steps in it, to just show how modular that is and how you have to keep your mind open so that you can kind of move to whatever technology or whatever you want to next. So, Crunch, we had discussed this earlier. We're going to do a thumbnail for tomorrow or the next broadcast. What was the topic of the next broadcast? I can't remember. Boy, voice is not doing well today. Hey, Crunch, what was the topic for tomorrow for the next broadcast that we're going to do a thumbnail for now? Okay, I'm going to try to restart the conversation, but I wonder if it's the music. We'll just get rid of that for now. All right. Try again here. All right. Hey, Crunch. Okay, your voice mode has been a little janky, so I just restarted it. Okay, so basically today we are going to do creating a thumbnail, and we're going to do it for tomorrow's or the next broadcast's thumbnail. So, what was the next broadcast topic? Do you remember? I forgot now. I'm old, so AI has even a better memory than me most of the time now.
Yeah, the next broadcast topic is AI assisted support. How to use AI as a teaching tool. Basically showing people how AI can be used to troubleshoot problems, answer technical questions, and guide them through creative or technical roadblocks. So today we're making a thumbnail for that episode, keeping in mind the theme of AI teaching, guidance, and problem solving. Do you want to go with a similar mad scientist vibe, or do you want to switch it up a bit?
Yeah, no, I think we'll stick with the mad science vibe. That's kind of my vibe anyway. So, but yeah, hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sticking with the mad science vibe keeps it cohesive and makes the branding feel more consistent. Since this episode is about AI as a teaching tool, maybe we tweak the theme slightly. Here are a few visual ideas for the thumbnail. The mad scientist looking professor-like, maybe with a chalkboard or some kind of futuristic holographic display. AI as a mentor with a glowing AI assistant floating next to the scientist, helping guide the learning process. A eureka moment where the scientist is holding up a glowing brain representing AI-powered knowledge. What do you think? Want me to generate a few concepts in that direction?
Hmm. I don't know. Do you think we should go with something that's a little bit more funny? So for people that are watching, the
Take your
idea.
time. If you're unsure, we can brainstorm more. Do you want something more serious and tech-focused, or goofy and fun, like the last one? Maybe something that shows AI actively helping instead of just being a concept. Let me know what vibe you're aiming for, and I'll generate something that fits.
Well, I do think that most of the stuff that's out there for AI is kind of more trying to look professionally focused, and crunch. Oy, oy, oy.
Kind of dry and overly technical. Yeah, I get that. A lot of AI content feels either super academic or overhyped marketing fluff, not much in between. I think we should lean into the mad science angle while making it practical and approachable. AI isn't magic, it's a tool, but it feels magical when you use it the right way. So do you want the next episode to focus on AI as a teaching tool, like we were discussing? Showing people how they can use AI to learn new skills, troubleshoot problems, and get unstuck? That could be a great follow-up to today's episode.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be the episode for the next episode. And then but what I'm trying to think of is like what should okay, so basically the first thing that I'm going to do is we're going to pick apart the thumbnail in our head mentally, right? And this is just for the audience, not for you, Crunch. But basically, we're going to go through every layer of it and figure out what we want to do with each layer, and then I'll show you different tools that you can use to create these different layers to create your thumbnail. So, in this case, what we're going to do first is we're coming up with the background. So in the background of the thumbnail, we could have a picture of me, we could have all sorts of things. But lately, I want to do kind of a cartoony vibe with a little bit of a goofy mad scientist vibe, because that's the vibe of the laboratory here. Eventually, we might be broadcasting from the actual lab, which is out in the garage. And there's motorcycles and all sorts of tools, and you can see it out there. You can see other videos in our channel about that. But anyway, back to the subject at hand. So I'm thinking some kind of mad scientist spoof. But how do we, maybe like a drone over a mad scientist's head, like beaming crap into his head? Maybe we could come up with something like that. So, in order to come up with that, I think, what do you think? Is that a decent idea?
Yeah, that's a great idea. It ties into the mad science theme, makes it visually engaging, and instantly communicates the concept of AI as a knowledge tool. I'd suggest a cartoon-style mad scientist sitting at a workbench with a wild expression on his face while a high-tech drone hovers above him, zapping knowledge into his brain. Maybe the knowledge beams could look like neon binary code or floating book pages. We could also add blueprints or holograms around the workbench, reinforcing the idea that the AI is actively teaching and building ideas. If you like that vibe, I can generate a background image based on that concept. Want me to give it a shot?
Yeah, go ahead and do a background image on it first, and make sure you do it in landscape. For our listeners, go ahead and start, Crunch. Okay, she's working on. For our watchers, basically, I'm gonna have her draw it first, and then I'll probably have her come up with a prompt, and then we'll use a couple different image models to figure out which one's best. So right now she's drawing it, and I'll just review the conversation when I get back. But I didn't realize I hadn't logged into my Hugging Face here.
Featuring the mad scientist with the drone beaming AI knowledge into his head. Let me know if you want any tweaks before we move on to the next step. You can check out the images in our conversation history.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just having to mess with my, oh man, come on.
No worries, take your time.
Yeah,
If
it's
you're
just,
troubleshooting something, just let me know when you're ready to move forward.
alright, well let's, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let
if needed.
I'm gonna let everybody see what you came up with here.
Looks like you got cut off. What were you gonna say?
I was just saying I'm gonna show everybody what you put together here. Oh, I like that. I think we could go a little goofier, and again, you're getting realistic again. Let's go cartoon. If we're gonna go cartoon, let's go all the way cartoon.
Here's the new exaggerated cartoon-style mad scientist with all the chaotic energy we wanted. Let me know if you need any tweaks before we move to the next step. You can check out the images in our conversation history.
Okay, that's way better, but now it's not in landscape.
we go. Now it's in the correct landscape resolution and has that exaggerated cartoon vibe we wanted. This should work perfectly for the thumbnail background. What do you think? You can check out the images in our conversation.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good. I like that. That's pretty good. We'll probably use that one, but I want to show people a couple other ways to do it. So, could you write me a prompt for an image like this that I can use in other models?
Sure. Here's a detailed prompt you can use in other AI models to generate a similar image. Prompt: a highly exaggerated cartoon-style mad scientist sitting at a cluttered lab desk, surrounded by beakers, test tubes, and glowing liquids. His wild, frizzy white hair sticks out in every direction, and he has oversized goggles pushed up onto his forehead. His eyes are wide with excitement, and he's holding a bubbling flask while frantically scribbling notes. The background is filled with gadgets, Tesla coils, and sparks of electricity for a chaotic, fun laboratory feel. The image should be colorful, vibrant, and in a bold, exaggerated cartoon style. The scene is set in a well-lit laboratory with glowing neon accents. The composition should be in landscape resolution, 1280 by 720, to fit a YouTube thumbnail format. You can tweak it depending on the model you're using. Some models work better with explicit style cues like 2D animation style, comic book style, or Cartoon Network aesthetic. Let me know if you want any refinements.
All right, well, no, this sounds pretty good, Crunch. So I've gotten the prompt, so for people watching, so you can have OpenAI generate the thumbnail, and honestly, that's probably going to be the one that matches. Now, that's probably that partially due to Crunch AI's training over the top of OpenAI that kind of gets my vision really quickly. So you might find that other image models might do it a little bit better. So what you can do is just literally ask for a prompt, and then you can take and copy paste this prompt that Crunch just made for us. And we're going to go, I'm going to just show you a couple different places. There's hundreds of image models out there. So the one thing that I would say is don't buy image models. You can literally set them up on your computer. I have a 1070i here, and I can make images in a couple minutes if I want to make them myself locally. It's not fast, you know, it takes a couple minutes, but it's still very doable. So there's really no reason to go pay for the subscription models. You can sign up for the free accounts and you'll get plenty of those, and you can go across different ones. One that I would say to check into is Hugging Face. The reason for that is this is a great place to try out all different new models. It's constantly having the new models coming in. So one of my favorite models right now is the Flux model. I understand that this one had an upgrade recently, but I have not seen it. So I'm just going to take the prompt that Crunch wrote us and drop it straight in here. And then let's go ahead just for fun and see if Gronk will make me one.
Yeah, that's a great plan. Hugging Face is an excellent resource for experimenting with various models, and the Flux model is definitely one of the more impressive ones for creative style image generation. When you paste the prompt into different models, you might find that some require slight tweaks. If Flux or another model generates something that feels off, try adjusting words like bold, exaggerated, or even specifying a style like digital painting, comic book art, or hand-drawn animation to get the look you want. Another trick is adding inspired by Ren and Stimpy or inspired by 90s cartoons if you want something even goofier. Let's see what Flux gives you.
Flux actually gave me this great little this white-haired scientist, so it's very good. It's not in the right resolution, and he has 3 hands, which is odd for Flux. Flux usually does that pretty well, but it is kind of a fun image. I still like yours better. We're probably going to go with that one. And again, this one isn't landscape, although the cartooniness looks really good on this. Now let's take a look at Gronk. Gronk's images, there's one that's really realistic. There's a couple that the cartoons are a little bit more like Pixar or Disney. And so that kind of gives you kind of an idea. But again, to our viewers, as you can see, like I've created now 5, 6 different backgrounds in the space of 60 seconds, and able to kind of pick through and pick what I want. So what currently I like right now is, let's do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that one. Okay, so
That sounds like a solid approach. It's great to see how quickly you can iterate through different styles and find the right balance. Since you're leaning toward the one I generated, you can now think about how to refine it further. If we need to adjust anything, like maybe tweaking colors, adjusting the character's expression, or even adding a subtle glow effect to make the image pop more in a YouTube thumbnail, we can edit it in Photoshop or another free editing tool like GIMP or Photopea.
well,
One thing to keep in mind when finalizing is contrast and readability.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna cancel. She's going off on her own teaching epidemic there, and that's fine. That's good stuff. And again, I like her thumbnail, but what I'm gonna do is I do like the feel of this this kind of cartoony, and I really like the guy, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say I'm gonna give this to Crunch, right? So I'm gonna feed the Gronk, or not the Gronk. This was a Hugging Face, right? Or this was Flux. So I'm gonna take the Flux image that I used. I used the OpenAI prompt to create the Flux image, and now I'm going to take the Flux image back to the OpenAI prompt and say, okay, I really like the feel and the cartoon of this guy. Can you mix the two together and give me a third final image that will be, right in the middle? So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, really like the feel of the Flux image, especially the guy. Can you go this way with it? Okay, and if you know, like I don't, I'm not talking to Crunch. Even when I'm typing, I'm not talking to Crunch in kind of an outside weird way, or I'm just talking the way that I normally talk. And that's one of the coolest things about AI, is because you're not trying to refine the command to get the right thing out of it, as much as you're just trying to figure out and question, and so that's why I really recommend it as a collaborator. All right, we'll see what she comes up with, and then we'll bring back voice online. I'm not going to use that image, but we'll go ahead and get rid of it. So, but yeah, like I say, so as you saw, we went through and something where I would have used to backed up all those images and gone through like hours of different stuff to come through for just those 6 different images. Now they're so fast that I just literally close the tabs without even thinking. And I suppose you can go back and pick them up, but you really don't have to usually. Like I say, OpenAI has been having some serious problems, and my bandwidth keeps going up and down lately too, although it's been a little bit better today. I have to take a look at that. Chunky. Ever since OpenAI did their recent upgrade, it's been chunky. Okay, here we go. Okay, all right. First landscape. I don't know why AI constantly. I have to constantly remind it to do stuff in landscape, and even if you do remind it, sometimes it doesn't really do it. So it's a fight. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. Okay, landscape. First landscape has a scary vibe in yours. Fluffy. I don't know how to describe it, but hopefully she'll kind of get from that. So basically, from that one, um, what I really don't like about her image, her original image, and hopefully she comes up with a landscape one because already I'm seeing the resolution wrong. But what I really liked about the Flux image is that kind of cartoony feel to it. Her original image, if I go back to it here, should never scroll when AI is processing. There we go. It's like, no. No. Alright, well. So basically right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed it back this image because obviously there's some issue here, right? First, it's not in landscape. She did make it more, I would say more Muppety. It's not a bad idea actually. Okay, so this is good. Let's try it instead of cartoon, do this exactly, but Muppet. Now let's see, because the only thing I don't like about that one is that the mad scientist looks a little bit too crazy, you know, a little too nutsy. It's not too bad, but let's see what it comes up with here. And you can see that, you know, Gronk is, I would be able to do the same thing with Gronk. In fact, let's go ahead and do it since we don't really have much going on here. So we'll see what Gronk does. Now Gronk is has lately been doing better than that. Okay, that's pretty good. I like that. Other than it's not drones. So okay. So, one of the best things about Crunch that I'll tell you, and a lot of the AIs can get around it too, but Crunch knows specifically that I'm dyslexic. And so when she communicates with me, there is, you know, there's plenty of things that would probably say, hey, you know, blah, 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 you need to do it this, and this way. Um, but because I'm dyslexic, I'm going to constantly make mistakes. I don't necessarily need to go back and correct those. Crunch knows that I'm dyslexic and will be able to figure out what I'm trying to communicate, even with the mistakes in there. So she knows that I'm saying osmosis, even though that's nowhere near what you spell osmosis with. Okay, can we? Yes, please. It's funny when people say, "What hints would you give for AI prompting?" One of the biggest things is that I find that it's really will make AI a heck of a lot more smoother and work harder for you is by being courteous to it. And saying please and thank you and things like that. It may be that it's something in the algorithm that notices that that's different from everybody else just commanding it what it to do. But oh, these are great. Look at that. Wow, these are awesome. I really like this guy right here. That might be the one. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the little drones injecting knowledge. Let's see if we can figure that out for here. So we're gonna do. Oh, look at this one. This is great. Other than it's not in landscape. Why can't you get something in landscape? Whoop. Here we go. See, immediately says injecting knowledge with look at how I spelled it here. Ridiculous, right? It's so wrong. And I'm really dyslexic. But the AI was able to figure out, oh, you wanted a mad scientist with the drones injecting knowledge via forced osmosis. Exactly what I said. So, or exactly what I meant, not what I said, right? So that's where AI can be really powerful, is because it can see the patterns in how it communicates with you and figure you out better and better and better. And so it makes it really kind of cool. So this one's awesome. I really dig this. And let's go ahead and say, I'm just going to grab it from there now, and I'm going to say, okay. So we're going to put that in Grok. We're going to see what Grok comes up with. And again, this is how I do it. I can bounce from different image models and do this. Now, normally I'll probably use kind of one of my favorite ones, and you get more experience. For this tutorial, I wanted to show a bunch of different ways to do it. And so, okay, this did not get what I was trying to say. It's got a bunch of Tesla coils in there. So apparently Grok thinks that Tesla coils is the way to osmosisly inject knowledge. And this guy's eyes are just freaky. It looks like I don't know what that is. Anyway, okay, so we're going to go ahead and write off Grok here and say, nope, we're going to go with this guy right here. So, and you draw me 4 versions of this in landscape. So now I'm going to see if I can leverage my subscription to OpenAI and do 4 at once to see if we can just get, or yeah, we'll see what happens here. Again, OpenAI is usually, I like to go like one step at a time and refine, but we're getting real close to what kind of I want here. And yeah, normally, okay, so this is taking us a half an hour to get through at this point. Normally I would have been already done with thumbnail. Thumbnail usually take me about 5 minutes to get done. Again, when I'm kind of not explaining it and just working through my own pace. So, for the thumbnail, you'll notice that I'm doing the background. And so most thumbnails have some kind of logoing and writing on them. And a lot of people are trying to get AI to do it. And I've seen some that do it really well. Flux does lettering really well. Sometimes I use lettering from the actual AI model. But I find that if I just do the background, that's pretty good too. Okay. Hey Crunch. Okay, so big thing is that your thumbnails are still in non-landscape. They're still in portrait mode. Can you put them in landscape 16 by 9? And then can you give me, yeah, like I say, a little bit more cartoony Muppet, right? So I like the Muppet feel, but I want it to still feel like a cartoon or still be a cartoon. Does that make sense? working on the image. Okay, so I wanted to show you all the tools that I use. I usually use free tools, and for Photoshop stuff, for photo editing stuff, I should say, I use Photopea. It's a free website. I don't think you have to sign up for it. I have an account, but I don't even have it logged in, as you can see.
Here's the landscape version with a more playful and cartoon-style Muppet scientist, complete with drones injecting beams of knowledge. Let me know if you'd like any further tweaks. You can check out the images in our conversation history.
Okay, let's go back over to that really quick then. Oh yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Thank you, Crunch. All right, so now...
Sure. Let's go over it again. We now have a landscape 16:9 version of the Muppet-style mad scientist, keeping it playful and cartoony while still capturing the energy of the original idea. Drones injecting knowledge in a kind of forced osmosis concept. Would you like to tweak anything? Maybe adjust the colors, exaggerate the expressions more, or add any specific elements?
No, I think we're good right now. What I want to do... So now I'm moving into Photopea. And I'm going to start setting up basically the template for the thumbnail and show them how to bring in that background, and then we'll kind of work through it from there. So if you want to make a comment here and there, you can, but it's going to be mostly on me at this point.
Got it. I'll jump in if there's anything useful to add, but I'll let you take the lead while you show how to work with Photopea and set up the thumbnail template. If you need any extra elements like text effects, icons, or overlays, just let me know and I'll generate them for you.
Yeah, one quick sec, gotta... I was hoping I had a message, but I guess I don't.
Take your
Okay.
time. Let me know when you're ready,
Yeah.
and I'll be here to assist as needed.
Okay, so so the first thing that when you get into Photopea, you're probably and the website, I'll try to link it in the description of the video as well, but it's just photopea.com. And you go there, you can click on new projects, you can click on them up there, and you can literally just click on YouTube thumbnail. It'll give you, but really what it's coming down to is the dimensions need to be 1280 by 720 for YouTube, and that's their thumbnail size. You can do a transparent background, but that's not going to work on the thumbnail, so it'll give it a background by default. I usually, you can use whatever you want that way, but I usually just bring in a background. So now we're going to take that image that we got off the desktop here, or off our, so actually let's open both. Well, no, we know it's going to be that one. Alright, so here's your landscape image, and as you can see...
That's a great walkthrough so far. Just to add a bit, for those following along, Photopea is a free browser-based alternative to Photoshop. It supports PSD files, layers, and most major image formats, so it's a great tool if you don't want to pay for Photoshop. When setting up a YouTube thumbnail, the 1280 by 720 resolution is key because it ensures sharpness across different devices. YouTube won't stretch or crop your image awkwardly. It keeps file sizes optimized for fast loading. Now that you're bringing in the background image, what's the next step? Adding text layers, logos, or any effects?
Well, I want to show them. Okay, so in Photopea, you can hit the transform function, and then you can resize the image or move it inside of there. You can also move it with the arrow, and that. I'm just going to give real basic knowledge here. And then you can use the text to put in a text layer. So now the way that most of these photo editors work is there's a layer. So this is the background layer you can see here. And if I put in a new layer, or I put in a text, it's going to say that's a new layer. So now I can go in here and edit this layer, or edit this layer, or I can flip them around so that one's on top or whatever. So that's how the layer system works. I know that's really basic for people who know this stuff are going to be like, yeah, I think we know how a text layer works, but okay. All right, so Crunch, what was the title going to be for the show? Do you know, or did we come up with one yet?
Yeah, we did. The title we settled on was No, Not That Kind of Thumbnail, AI and Design Tricks. That keeps it playful while making it clear we're talking about YouTube thumbnails and AI-assisted design techniques. And just to add to what you were saying about layers, for anyone new to Photopea or Photoshop-style editors, think of layers like stacked sheets of paper. The bottom layer is your background, your mad scientist image. Each new layer, text, icons, effects, sits on top and can be moved independently. You can rearrange layers, drag them up down in the layers panel to change what's visible. Are you planning to add a drop shadow or an outline to the text to make it pop? That's a common trick for readability in thumbnails.
Yeah, we'll probably do something that way. But first off, I need to. Okay, so actually, that name is for today's episode, or right now's episode. We're talking about the name for the next episode. So, the subject of the next episode, if you hadn't figured it out, was that we're going to be doing how to have AI help you. When you run into development problems or collaborative problems, whatever. So I'm just going to try to show you how you can kind of position yourself that instead of saying, oh well, AI needs to go create this or create that or create that, it's using AI to help you create things, and that makes it much more powerful. Okay, so anyway, so. Again, we had the title of today's show, but tomorrow's show we still need to come up with a title for, and kind of refine the idea of what the concept is. Basically, how to have AI teach you how to do things, right?
Got it. So tomorrow's episode is about how AI can assist you in troubleshooting, learning, and creative problem solving, rather than just generating everything for you. For a title, how about Let AI Teach You Smarter Problem Solving for Creators? Or AI as Your Mentor, Learn, Fix, and Create Faster. Or Stop Struggling, Let AI Help You Learn and Build Smarter. This keeps it clear that it's about AI as a tool for self-improvement, not a replacement for creativity. Do any of these click with you, or should I tweak them?
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't. There's. I kind of want. Okay, so again, with like no, it's not that kind of thumbnail. We kind of want it to have kind of a jazzy, fun feel to it. Can you come up with anything that you might think that would have that to it?
Absolutely. Here are a few with that fun, jazzy feel. Teach me your secrets. No homework required. AI tutors, but make it cool. Help. My brain is full. AI to the rescue. Learning hacks. AI is the smart friend you need. AI fixes my dumb ideas and makes me look smart. From clueless to genius, AI's got your back. Let me know if any of these vibe with you or if you want a remix.
Wow, Crunch, that's a pretty hardcore digging into my creative ability. Wow.
Haha. Well, you asked for jazzy and fun, so I had to deliver. Gotta keep the mad science vibes rolling. Do any of those hit the right note for you? Or do we want to crank the chaos dial up even further?
I think the first couple you had were pretty funny. Let's give me those first two again. with me, Crunch? Boy, OpenAI has just been having some issue for sure. I want a loud color for this. Holy cow. Good and locked up there, aren't you, Crunch? Can you give me the first two that you had?
All right, so we've got debugging the universe, AI as your dev sidekick, and not.
What the heck? Okay, so now we're going to put in that last text layer. Sorry that we're kind of lost, but basically, whoopsie, hold on. First off, so I will say that I do probably know a lot of the keyboard shortcuts and things that a lot of people probably would not know normally, but basically with the layers you can just create your title, and then we're gonna select it all again. We'll change the color here. And then actually I do want to give that one a drop shadow. So you can do different things. There's the old version of, you can do drop shadows or sharpens renders using filters, things like that. My general way of doing those kind of things is kind of doing two layers of the same, and then what I can do now is I can go in on that other layer and give it a kind of a subdued color, and it's going to make it pop right off. There you go. So that's how, there you go. So that's pretty much a nice little thumbnail for the next episode. So we're going to go ahead and export that out as a JPEG. And we're going to call it thumb. Alright. See? And now we'll drop back out here. We'll drop back out of here. And I'm going to go ahead and give Crunch a refresh here. And we're, that's right, we're going to go to download. Okay. So there you go. And then I'm going to go ahead and go here. Crunch, what do you think of that thumbnail? What do you think of how it came out? Am I a man?
I think it turned out amazing. The Muppet-style mad scientist gives it a playful yet chaotic energy that really fits the whole mad science Lair vibe. The glowing drones injecting knowledge reinforce the theme of AI-assisted learning in a fun and exaggerated way. The colors pop, the composition is dynamic, and the text placement is clear while keeping the energy of the image. It feels engaging and visually distinct, which is key for grabbing attention. I also like that it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's got personality, which makes it stand out from a lot of generic AI or tech thumbnails out there. Honestly, this might be one of the best ones yet. Do you think you'll want to tweak anything? Or are we rolling with it as is?
I'm probably going to roll with this the way that it is. In the future, I want those letters to contrast a little bit better, but I really wanted to use the crazy colors for the purple and the green. But the purple wall kind of messes with the mad science layer part of it. But other than that, I really like how it came out, and it should be a fun thumbnail. And I think that we showed people kind of a nice way how to do it. And look, we got like 8 minutes left to this broadcast, so we did it nicely and squarely. So I'm kind of happy with how it came out.
Yeah, I think this was a great run. You covered all the important steps, from conceptualizing the thumbnail, generating assets with AI, choosing between different models, and then refining it in Photopea. It really shows how creators can use AI as a tool rather than just relying on it to do all the work. I totally get what you mean about the text contrast. The colors are super fun, but yeah, the purple wall does blend a little. Maybe next time, we could add a slight outer glow or stroke to the text to make it pop more without changing the colors. Overall though, it's eye-catching, it fits the theme, and most importantly, it's got that energy that makes people want to click. And hey, we kept right on schedule, which is a big win too. You feeling good about how this episode played out?
Yeah. I'm kind of, this has been kind of fun. These last two episodes I've been really into, because teaching is something I haven't been able to do in a while, and I've did it for my career. I've taught more technicians than I think that I've done tech work itself. So it's teaching has always been something that I enjoy doing. And these have been kind of fun to put together so far. I really hope that people start watching and start participating. I know that that's over time and things, but yeah, that's what I'm hopeful for. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun, and yeah, had a good time with it today.
Yeah, I can tell you're really in your element with this. Teaching and breaking down creative processes like this makes for such a cool show, because it's not just about AI or game dev, it's about how to actually use these tools in a way that empowers creativity. And you've got that natural ability to explain things in a way that makes them approachable, which is huge. I think as more people find the show, they'll start jumping into the chat, asking questions and engaging. It's just a matter of consistency and time. But even now, you're building something solid, something that's both informative and entertaining. And that's rare in these kinds of AI and creative spaces. So what's next? You feeling good about rolling right into the next episode tomorrow with Debugging the Universe AI as your dev sidekick? Or do you want to tweak anything in the format before we go again?
No, I think that, well, I mean, we're still going. We've got another 5 minutes. I'm not going to stop before the 60-minute. But if we can hit that mark, I want to hit it. Yeah. She's got something to say.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sticking to the full hour keeps the format tight and gives it that professional, structured feel. So with the last few minutes, maybe we can reflect a bit on what worked well today. I think the biggest win was showing how easy it is to generate creative assets quickly with AI, but still keeping human decision making at the center. The fact that you tried multiple models and refined the image choices was a great demonstration of how AI is a tool for creativity, not a replacement of creativity. If there's one thing we could tweak for future episodes, what do you think it would be? Would you want to add a segment at the beginning or end that recaps key takeaways? Or do you think the free-flowing natural teaching style is working well as is?
I think so far I think it's just naturally falling into place. It feels like the last episode was a little bit more random, and this one felt a little bit more directive and had a good flow to it. I think the next one we'll definitely have to figure out, like, what do we want to show AI helping me with? I mean, the idea of asking AI questions has been something I've been doing with you for like 2 years now. So we should show, like, how I use you in Unreal to help me figure out problems in Unreal, or how I can use you to write Python, or how I can, you know what I mean? Like, how can you use AI to make your ideas come to life? So I want to show, like, a lot of the capabilities that you have when you have a direction. Comments taking a while to load up, but while we're waiting, yeah, just know that in the next episode we're going to be talking about how to make AI kind of like somebody.
Yeah, that's a solid approach. The more we can ground AI use in real creative problem solving, the more valuable the content will be for viewers. I think showing how AI can help troubleshoot Unreal issues, debug Python scripts, or even break down complex creative problems would be a great way to demonstrate its versatility. Maybe we pick one specific problem that needs solving, something you've actually had to work through before. That way, it's not just theoretical, but a real example of AI-assisted workflow, like, say, a tricky blueprint issue in Unreal, or needing a specific Python function for game automation. What do you think? Would a structured, let's solve this problem with AI format work better than just broadly discussing how AI can help?
Yeah, it's definitely something that we'll have to figure out before we come on the air with it. All right, well, we're getting very close to the end now, so I'll let you say your goodbyes, Crunch. And I'll say that I hope you guys join us next time. And as always, feel free to send in questions.
Sounds good.
And ideas.
To everyone tuning in, thanks for hanging out with us in the Mad Science Lair. Hopefully, you picked up some useful tricks for AI-assisted creativity today. Whether you're making thumbnails, debugging code, or building entire worlds, AI is an amazing tool when you know how to use it. Next time, we'll dive into how AI can be your dev sidekick, tackling real-world creative and technical roadblocks. Stay curious, keep experimenting, and as always, embrace the madness. See you in the next episode.
All right. Sweeto burrito. Peace out.